A very good afternoon to all of you, and I'm very happy to have this privilege of chairing this session with very distinguished panelists. I would just like to maybe take 5 minutes to give you a perspective on what the committee that I had the privilege to chair, the High-Powered Expert Committee on Urban Infrastructure and Services, had to say on institutional issues. Basically, our task was to give the Government of India an estimate of urban infrastructure investment deficit. And they said if you had 20 years going from now until 2031, what investment would we need to make so that we serve all the currently unserved and underserved population in the cities and towns of India, and the additional population that will come on board. We came up with a number of 39.2 lakh crore over a period of 20 years. And this was done with a tremendous amount of diligence, looking at current projects in the areas of water, sanitation, solid waste management, etc. What we then tried to look at is how will this be financed, and how this financing will be split between the Government of India, state governments, and urban local bodies. We, in a nutshell, came up with the conclusion that you will need some amount of proactive leadership by the Government of India by putting their money where their mouth is, because urban development is very important. So the JNNURM, which was a pilot project for a selected number of cities, should be made in principle available to any city or town which is willing to do certain reforms, which is willing to meet certain conditions. As far as the states are concerned, urban development is their principal responsibility. So they will really have to play not only an important role in making funds available, but also in creating an enabling environment in which the local governments are financially strengthened and made capable so that they can perform the task. So state governments spend some money themselves, they devolve through agreed constitutional or other means by which predictable guaranteed transfers of funds can be made available to the third tier. And that is when we, so far so good, there was sort of, a reasonable agreement on what we were going to do, but then the real challenge. We found that when we talk of finances, devolution will take time. There is an entire political economy of how far you'll be able to get the devolution. But then, in order to strengthen the third tier, you need to give them the power to raise taxes. You need to give them the ability to cover their user charges for what they are to devolve. You basically need to give them a revenue model. Public-private partnership, even in the urban areas, can only work if there is a revenue model and if there is a capacity at the level of the public entity which can actually sit across the table, work out a model by which they know what is their responsibility, what is their risk, and how the agreement is to be framed. And hence, it's extremely important for us to work on an institutional design so that the third tier is strengthened. It's extremely important to build capacity so that we have urban planners, we have city managers, we have people who understand the importance of public transport, affordable housing, land use planning, when they prepare a city development plan, and that they don't just come with something that they hastily put together. More often, a contractor is putting this together for them than the officials themselves. And from JNNURM, there have been a lot of lessons on how to go about correcting the new scheme, which should be made universal, but differentiated depending on the class and type of cities or towns. And parallel, there should be a program of capacity building so that we can have system, we can have institutions that can deliver. We talked about the importance of building municipal cadre, importance of empowering the mayor, and I think these are the areas in which I'm sure our panelists here would be talking about, and our recommendations of the committee are there at the website of National Institute of Urban Affairs. But I felt I'll just give you this background to say that even when we were asked to talk about investment and financing, we could not go very far without saying that governance has to improve. And I've only talked about infrastructure financing. Governance is even more crucial when you move from infrastructure to public service delivery.